Okay, so I'm doing a part 3 to when a baby chooses to be born at birth with a birth defect, TikTok censorship part 3. And so what these ladies were doing is so I was making the comparison and analogy to an elderly person who passes away due to old age, and they lack the ability anymore to be able to feed themselves on their own. And so heroic measures would be giving them a devage tube. That's what I called it, was a devage tube, because when my baby was born, they talked about something they called devage feeding. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm not sure. But that's what they said related to my baby, is that they might give it a feeding or two, and then that would be it. Because what they said is that the muscles in its mouth are not, there's not going to be a suckling response. They said there's just not enough parts of the brain for there to be a suckling response for the baby to be able to thrive on its own. So I made the comparison of birth and death, because my baby died at birth, after birth. Now, typically, what the doctors had told me was that usually they see babies, they said a lot of times a woman, when she has a baby that is a miscarriage, they said that it's likely that it was a birth defect of some sort. They said the body somehow maybe knows, and that could be why a lot of women have miscarriages. And so, yes, they loved their baby. I get that, but it they said sometimes, a lot of times women will have a miscarriage. She won't even know she's pregnant. So she won't even get that far. But they said, at times that it's possible that she could show up as pregnant, but then the body absorbed the baby, or, it came out with the menstrual cycle. And so, trying to explain this to these people on TikTok, they're supposed to be adults, but they're arguing pro-life as a reason for there not to be any type of intervention. And I'm thinking, if that's the case, why should we have pills for in vitro fertilization? They want in vitro fertilization. They want that other expensive stuff. They want in vitro fertilization, and they also want to keep the birth control pill and the morning after pill, which is an abortion pill. They want to keep all that stuff. I think just get rid of the whole kit and caboodle. So under Roe versus Wade, they should have got rid of all the rest of that stuff. But no, you know why they don't? Because it's inflated price medical procedures that they can still get money for and make lots of money from the pill and from the other areas of family planning.